Welcome to the Women Writing Podcast. I'm your book coach, Lisa Kovala. I'm a certified fiction and memoir book coach and the author of Like Water for Weary Souls, Sisters Winter War, and Surviving Struthof, and the Hygge House Nordic Cozy Mystery Series. As a Finnish Canadian, I also love my coffee. Take a coffee break with us as we chat about all things writerly with authors and publishing industry professionals. And don't forget to sign up for my Women Writing newsletter on Substack and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more great content. Glenda Benevides is an award-winning singer-songwriter celebrated for her soulful vocals and deeply resonant lyrics that inspire audiences around the globe. As a Grammy-nominated artist and Recording Academy voting member, Glenda actively contributes to honoring and elevating excellence in the music industry. She is the author of Courage, Find Your Fire, and Ignite Action in Your Life. Hi, Glenda. How are you?
Good. How are you?
So well, thank you. It's so great to see you.
Good. Thank you so much.
I love your beautiful backdrop with all of your information. I think that's fantastic. If people can't see it, it looks really great. Love it. Amazing. So I have so many questions for you today. You're doing such incredible work. I'm going to say, would you call yourself a multi-genre artist? Would that be kind of correct?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's really great. That's a great way to put it. I never thought about that. I'm going to say that myself.
That's right. You can feel that. Yeah. I love it. So you have been a songwriter, you're a singer, you're an author, so many creative pursuits. Have you been a creative person your whole life since you were a kid?
So fortunate. Yes, I have. Yeah.
Where do you think that came from? Like, do you have a family surrounding you that are creatives, or was that just something in you?
I think it was something in me. It's so funny because my parents are definitely blue collar, worker. And so they just supported me in whatever I wanted to do, but they didn't really have that kind of talent. Like they weren't singers or, artists or anything like that, but they never disliked it or, or anything like that. I was very fortunate with that. But what I did find out later on in life was that my father, my biological father, was a musician.
No kidding.
Right. And I didn't find that out till I was like 16, 17. And my mom thought she was going to die. So she decided that she was going to tell me, just so I knew, and I was like, oh my God. But that was like, on one hand, it was like, really? Yeah. And then on the other was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I can totally see that.
That tracks.
My biological father's Italian. So I look Italian, Yeah. So I see that, and plus he was multi-talented, sang, played piano, played guitar, was in a band.
Yeah. Like it's incredible to me because I think sometimes in a family, we're like, okay, well, how does that kid have that skill or whatever? Like, because it doesn't seem obvious in the people around that person. But if you look back a generation or two, it just becomes clear that, oh, this is in the family. So I don't know to what extent it's nurture or nature or whatever it is, but like, I'm sure there's something inside that is just this creativity that needs to happen. And then of course you need people around you who will respect that and help it grow and all the things.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to say, I feel very fortunate. I didn't have anybody saying, you can't do that. Why are you doing that? When are you going to get a real job? I never heard any of that stuff. The horror stories that you hear from other artists,
It's true.
But everybody has their path, everybody has their experience so they can get to whatever level that they're going to be at. I mean, you hear stories of, horrible experiences when they were kids and the trauma they had, but they become these amazing artists, so upside downside, right?
Yeah. It's so hard to know. And it's, I even think about, I was a teacher for a very long time of high school students, and a lot of them were very creative and wanted to pursue creative careers. And I could understand the parents being hesitant because they care about their kid and they're worried about
Totally. Are they going to make
what does
a
that life
living?
look like? Right.
Yeah,
And so it's
totally.
natural. Like I have creative kids myself and I have a son who's in a very creative field and I have no idea what that looks like, but I'm like, just go for it. But I think some parents would be like, no, you need to go and do
Yeah.
the, do
Well,
the
good for
safe thing, I
you.
guess.
Good for you, because I think what happens is that you actually you either work yourself in there and then you go, okay, this is how I can make this
Yes.
path pay off for me financially, or
Yeah.
they back and they go, nah, that was fun
Yeah.
when I did it when I was a kid and I
Right.
want to.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yeah.
you just got to trust the
100%.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was there ever a fallback for you, or did you start pursuing your craft right away, or were you like doing other things? And then, a lot of folks who are creatives, like musicians and artists, and they have some other work that they have do to like pay the bills, and then they're being creative like when they can and how they can, right? So what, or did you just go like, no, I'm all in right from the beginning?
I'm all in right from the beginning.
Love
Yeah.
it. Amazing.
And I
Amazing.
came up in a time though where everything was possible, really.
Yeah.
There was no, if you don't have your parents telling you you can't, everybody around you's like, yeah, let's do that, So
Yeah.
I was really fortunate. And then I had such a drive and a passion for what I was doing and an interest to learn and grow,
Right.
because you have to grow in that industry, or any industry really. But then you just jump in, you go for it, and next thing you know, you have a job. Next thing you know, you're
Right.
on your own, you're paying for your own rent. I worked in a time where I could do that. I totally toured. I toured the world. I had my own car, I had my own apartment,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was.
I do think that you're right. There's something about our time period that makes everyone a little more hesitant to just jump on into things. And a lot of voices saying you should, you shouldn't, you should, you shouldn't. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, and I
feels a
think
little bit more
you
freedom.
gotta, like you said, I think you gotta find your way, because, be here now. What's
Yeah.
happening now? What's
Right.
going on now? How do I use AI as a tool? How do I do this? How do I do that?
Yeah.
Who am I now? What is my value now?
Yeah.
Not 20, 30 years
Yeah.
ago. That's not
Right.
relevant. You can
Yeah.
utilize that
Sure.
as insights, information, basically banking all the practice that you've done in the past. Yeah. But I got to be here now, not think, oh, I
Absolutely.
was going to get famous. I'm going to get signed. It's like, no.
Yeah. That's so good for everybody, right? That idea that we have to keep growing and learning and changing, and things are changing around us, whether we want them to or not. So we
That's so
might
true.
as well just keep our hearts open, our brains open, and keep, finding out new things. And I think that makes it exciting in a way too. Like, I guess there's some fear attached to that, but there's also excitement, and like you don't get stale. You don't kind of sit back and go, "Oh, I'm good." No,
Yeah, exactly.
There's still a drive.
Yes.
And so I'm curious, because you have this amazing immersive experience called Soul on Fire. Can you talk about what that is? Because it sounds incredible.
Yeah. Wow. What angle do I want to take? Where do we want to go?
Right.
Again, I think I was about a year and a half ago, I was really sitting back with, how do I take my abilities, my talent, my gifts, and make it current, make it something that the value of it that I can give to others, that they say, oh yeah, I need that. I want that. And so I was really sitting with that and kind of developing it off and on. And what I found was, what I loved cinema. I loved audiobooks. I love workshops, all these things that I love, that I know that has benefited my life and really helped me as a human being, evolve. And I thought, I love all those things. I'm sure other people love all those things. Hello. How do I blend that together with my songs and storytelling?
Yeah.
And so I really started to develop this, for a lack of better word, kind of multimedia experience. So women, people, whatever. I go into corporations, or I go into retreats, nonprofits, private events, like I did She Angels last year, foundation. So I go into those events and I do like an hour and a half of multimedia. You experience that. You get your gift bag, Soul on Fire, with your journal and a variety of other things that from my sponsors. And then you get to, at some point, pull out your journal, and then there'll be questions on the screen that you get to answer for yourself.
Wow.
And that's where the workshop stuff comes involved. But then we move into a story, then we move into a song. So you're having this immersive experience of body, mind, spirit, all of it. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, and you have to experience it.
Experience it, right? Yeah, because it sounds like there's all kinds of things happening.
Yeah.
And so the intent, like if I was going to one of these events and I was an audience member, in a way, I was going to say participant, but in a way I am, because I'm like, it's not just observing, it's being part of it. What is the intention for you? What do you want that participant to get out of that moment?
Yeah. Well, what I'm addressing is self-doubt. I'm addressing full self-expression. I'm addressing clarity, courage, confidence, commitment, and community. So those are the core elements that I'm addressing, and that when you walk away, you're coming away with more of like, whew, I always wanted to do that thing that I did, or I always wanted to show up in the workplace in a more powerful way. I really want to express myself, or, that thing that I've been putting off for a really long time. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to put it in time, and I'm going to get some support, and we're going to do this as a community or as a team or whatever, so it's allowing people that moment in time to really see themselves and to experience themselves in a place of like, what, I could do that too myself,
Nice.
Yeah.
So important. It sounds like, in a way, it's you and everyone around the audience being given permission. Like sometimes we need it to hear it externally, right, to be able to go, like, all those thoughts we've had, all those feelings we have is kind of bouncing around in our head. But then when somebody else is like, go do the thing, like, and get motivated, then it's like, I can do that. Like, that's what I want. That's what I need. Like, you feel it in a different way when it's coming kind of externally, and it resonates with you. And like, everyone can have a really different experience of that, but it will be meaningful.
Absolutely.
It sounds like a very motivational moment. Like that kind of.
Yeah. Well, and it also allows you to, it allows you to take those questions home, take that book home, and you can dig a little deeper. So let's say, I have a powerhouse question that comes up, and you're like, oh my God, you pull out your journal, you start to write something, and I give everybody like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you go, I'm going to address that deeper later, and then, or the next person may go, you know what? I'm going to address that deeper, and I need some support. So I wonder who I could coach with. Right. Not me. I'm not your coach.
Right.
That's not but I have an arsenal of really powerful coaches, people that can really be there for you. That's their power spot. That's their dream. That's what they do. That's what they've focused on. Right. Well, I've focused on entertainment, clarity, courage, confidence, commitment, community. I've focused in that area. So that's what you're going to get when you come. You're going to get that part, not only from the outside, but from the inside.
Yeah.
For yourself.
Yeah. So they have this seed of an idea, like they have written something while they're with you, but then when they walk away, they have that journal. They have that. Go back to it. They can really reflect on it and consider what it is they want and how they want to get there.
Absolutely.
And all of the things.
Absolutely. And I'm putting together, more questions so we can go deeper with that if they want. Yeah, exactly. That'll be in the bag, the gift bag.
Amazing. Yeah, I think that's incredible because, I mean, it's like I say, it's that permission and it's that motivation and that feeling like, okay, somebody else has done this, I can do this too. And we are all striving for something, whether it's small or, where they're trying to impact lots of people, or just in our small way in a community. I love the idea that you talk about community. Like I talk about that a lot with writers, because writers,
Yeah.
we always think of it as such a solitary thing, but writing is
Yeah.
really a community effort. Like we have lots of people involved in that process, and you can have a group of people that are lifting you up and motivating you and giving you permission to try the things. So I can see how that's important in every field, really, right? That
Yeah.
you're drawing
Yeah.
on that.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I
For
think I
sure.
think the magic and the healing happens in community.
Yeah.
Because if you're isolated all the time, yeah, everybody needs time to be quiet, to know thyself, to write ideas, to get inspirations, and also to then to go, hey, I was thinking about this. What do you think about that? Can I throw this past you? Is this an okay idea, or no? You know, it's
That's
then you're getting
right.
that feedback, you're getting that connection, you know, and you don't know how you're touching someone else.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
they may have like, I really needed to hear from somebody today.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
100%. And how long have you been doing this particular Soul on Fire event? Like, is this fairly new, or have you been doing it for a while and it hasn't
No, it's
changed over time?
no, it's new. It's new.
Okay.
I've been in the process. I've been working on it, evolving it, I should say, actually, for the last year or so. And then I launched it, and I did a few beta tests on it. Got some footage, got some feedback. You know, I got one more full show probably at the end of April or May here in the Northern California, which is where I'm living. And then I'll do that again. And then I'll be just reaching out to different corporations, different retreats, nonprofits, and
Amazing.
see if they're interested in bringing this in. Yeah, for
I
them.
love it. I'm so curious sometimes about where ideas come from. So at what moment did this idea just come to you, or was it something that was kind of percolating for a long time and then you went, oh yeah, I'm going to pursue that? Like when did you say, I need to do all of this and put it in a package, and like
I love it. Yeah, it came out of a need to be relevant, to be present, to be in the 21st century, not 1980, not 1990, 21, 26.
yeah,
It came from how do I continue to be myself, to be relevant, to be, a loving, compassionate person that gives back to people of the things that I've learned. I always say, try it on if it fits. If it doesn't, it's okay. Just find something that does,
yeah,
And I think I just really wanted to like not go, okay, well, I'm not doing music anymore.
right,
I'm not a pop star, so I can't do music. It's
right,
not like
right,
that. It's like, no, I'm still relevant. I don't have
yeah,
to, because I'm older doesn't mean I have to sing opera,
right, right, yeah,
or whatever,
100%.
I can write my own music, make my own difference.
Yeah,
And so I think it came out of that. I just really said, how do I pull everything together that I love, that I think is relevant for people
yeah,
now,
yeah.
and now
That's
just
so
getting it out
great.
there.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because I feel like when we're younger, there's sort of maybe it's not real, but it's a perceived path that our careers we think should take. But then I think when you're older and have all that experience, like it's no longer about what other people are doing. It's about like, how can I do this? What do I want to do? What can I experiment with? Like it doesn't feel
Yeah.
like you need your own permission to do, like permission from others to do those things. Like you can really embrace the stuff you love. And there is an audience for that. There are
Yeah.
people that will embrace that.
Yeah.
And the fact that this sounds like something that is so like meaningful to other people, like that it's like a generous act that you're like you put this together and it's to help other people. Like it's not
Yeah.
just oh, come watch this spectacular show.
Right.
Right? It's like, how can you come here and watch this spectacular show and be moved and changed by it and
That's
grow in
right.
your own life?
That's right.
Which I'm not
100%.
sure that when you're 20, that's necessarily on your mind to go and
Right.
preach to other people. I mean, when
Totally.
I was 20, I wasn't thinking about those things.
I know. I know. I love it. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, So you wrote a book called Courage, Find Your Fire and Ignite Action in Your Life. So I'm thinking this is very connected to this performance. So can you tell us a little bit about that too?
Yeah. Courage, Find Your Fire and Ignite Action in Your Life is like my first book. And I really wrote it out of a dare.
Okay. I love that.
It started out as a dare. I dare me to, no. I had a really good friend that was trying to write a book for 10 years. And I was like, oh, that's some lazy shit. Excuse my language. And I was like, how can you not finish a book, right? Not knowing, right? But I mean, everything is different because some things require research and it takes longer, which I learned. But I pretty much wrote this book from my experience. So I call it a teaching memoir. So basically what it is it's a book about clarity, courage, confidence, commitment, and community. And that's kind of how I broke it down. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to take a chapter a day and I'm only going to do that. I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to reread it. I'm just going to do 15 days. I'm going to write 15 chapters. Okay. And I did it like that. Then I went back and then I started fixing things and stuff like that and go, wow, that's a run-on sentence. That's fabulous. So I let myself do that and not get mired into the little details and stuff. Yeah. So I decided to just write about my life. Like, how did I have clarity? How did I have courage? How did I have confidence? How did I have community and commitment? Like, how did I have that? And then I broke that down, right? And then I gave little kind of like, I don't know, little antidotes or whatever, that you could actually, or questions to think about that to help that person whoever's reading, go, well, okay, I never thought about, let me write that down, So, anyway, so that's kind of how that came about. And, it started back in 2018, the whole process and, everything. And then I wasn't going to use it as a book. I mean, I just wrote it to prove my friend wrong.
Does.
I was just like, this is ridiculous. And then I took a break and then I shared it with a coach of mine. And she said, this is really good stuff. She's like, you should turn it into a book. And I'm like, what? Like a real book and not just a PDF. Right. And I said, oh, okay. And so she turned me on to a wonderful publisher, editor. She was lovely. And then she just didn't take my voice away. She helped me fix a lot of things and organize it so it's proper, how you actually do a book, that kind of stuff. So, because that obviously wasn't my field at the time. So anyway, that's really kind of how it started. And then I thought, okay. And then I ended up, the manager at the time got me connected to Creative Edge publicity, and then they've just kind of been supporting me through my journey.
Incredible. Incredible. I just love that it starts as sort of a dare, but I think a lot of things do, like, not necessarily that we put those words to it, but the idea that we're like, can I do this? Okay,
totally.
I'm gonna do this. Like, you just gotta decide, right? Like, one day you're not and the next day you are, and it's just like, and then I think you sound like the same personality in the sense of, once you decide you're going to do it, like you you a person who follows through? Yes. Oh yeah. Like, it's going to happen.
Plus I use little tools like this, right? That helps you, put things in time and that frees you up to allow your brain to do whatever. And then the alarm goes off and you go, oh yeah, I got to do that. Instead of like constantly, I have a friend that does this, constantly thinking about what time do I have to do this, or just space it out, forget, and then everybody's like mad at you because you've missed the appointment, So being creatives, I think we really need to not feel like this is dominating us, but where it's a partnership. Same thing with AI. Just call it's a partnership. You're running the show, you're thinking how you want to think, and you're using that as feedback. You're using that as wonderful opportunities to, like, I never thought about that. Like my partner Gene, we were talking, he was sharing with me, he said, yeah, have you ever thought about asking it to ask you a question? And I was like, oh. No, right?
Uh-huh.
We're asking it
Interesting.
questions. Now we ask it to ask us questions. So I was
Right.
like, oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he would say,
That's
I
interesting.
know. No.
I know.
Smarty party.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, there's so much controversy over AI, but I'm working with a writer who's putting out a second edition of a book she wrote 10 years ago. And so she's included a new chapter on AI,
Yeah.
and she describes how she uses it as a, like, she's also multi genre creative person, artist, author, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
And exactly that, using it in a way that helps you dig deeper, but
Yes.
not, it's not the creative part. It's not the thing that creates a
Right.
thing. It's just getting you to like think
Yep.
about things in a different way. So I thought that's brilliant. Like she's using it in such a positive way for good and not evil, I guess.
Yeah. No, that's right. That's
Yeah,
totally true.
yeah.
It's
There's
not,
chills.
and I think what I think kind of to her point, what she's saying really is that don't sit back and go, tell me,
Yeah.
do me.
Right.
It's
Yes.
like, no, you're using it as partnership, as
Yes.
creative, as a creator. You
Yes.
use it as a tool to go, how can that make my job a little faster or a little more
100%.
organized? It doesn't mean you take your hand off the wheel.
That's right.
You
That's
know?
right. You're still in
Yeah.
charge of it.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can, but then
Right.
then everybody goes, that's AI. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And
How generic
it's
is
not,
that?
yeah, and it's not, as artists, like it's not satisfying. Like I think so much of the satisfaction of creating things, whether it's writing or music or art or dance or whatever it is,
Hmm.
it's the process of the creation, and it's the having done it, knowing
Yeah.
that this is from you. Like it's, you birthed this thing. So
Yeah.
if AI is taking the wheel, well, I mean, we're just bystanders. Who cares?
Yeah.
It
Yeah. Who
doesn't make any
cares?
sense.
Exactly.
Like no one will
Exactly.
care. And if they like
Exactly.
it, I don't get it. Like there's no
Yeah,
heart or
totally.
soul in it, you
Oh
know?
my God. Lee, you got it right on. And shouting in the wind.
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
No. Yeah. I definitely feel like down the road, like everyone's intrigued by it right now because it's new, but down the road it'll just be like you say, just another tool in the toolbox. and and I think humans will want human created
yeah,
experiences and art and music,
absolutely.
and like we just will
Well,
want that. We don't want like
absolutely. I
whatever,
think
like
so.
if it's used for other things that don't affect us and we don't need, like, that's fine. But like for when we need time to relax or be engaged, or like in your
Yeah.
immersive experience, be moved and rethink what we're doing, like we want we want to hear from a human. Like
Yeah,
I
I think
think, I
so
hope.
too. Because we're human. So that's what we
Yeah.
want, right?
Yeah.
Again, going back to it's a tool. So, like
Yeah.
it'd be like, me going, give, I'm going to give Chad, I call him Chad, not Chad.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Chad is my guy. I go, Chad,
Love
um,
it.
Chad, I need it, like here's my set list. Tell
Yeah.
me based on what you know about each one of my songs,
Yeah.
tell me the most powerful formula for me to present each one of these songs, right?
Right.
And so he'll do a whole he'll
Yeah.
tell me like
Yeah.
this song first, this song second, and why.
Yes. Yes.
And then I sit back and then I listen to each song and go, no, he's not right
Yeah.
there.
Yes.
That's really not what
This
that's
works. This
about.
works. Not that. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But some of it does work. Like
Yeah.
some of it does work. Like, oh, okay, I would have never put that song first.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, that kind of thing. So I use it again. I use it as a tool. I don't let it tell me what to do.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that because it's like a brainstorming tool, right? Except that it's
It
so
is.
fast and really quite,
Mhm.
it knows your playlist. It knows exactly what each song is about. It's like it
Mhm.
knows you in a deeper way
Mhm.
than if I just brainstormed with a friend who didn't know the material.
Yeah.
They might have some ideas, but like this is just
Right.
fast, and
Yeah. Exactly.
Ugh,
Yeah.
I
He
love
knows the song. Yeah.
There's ways to use it for
Totally.
good.
Totally. For
So
good. Yes,
good.
absolutely.
So you have this great project on the go. You're going to be performing a ton, I'm sure. But you have this other thing I noticed, which is called One Tree Planted.
Yeah.
What is One Tree Planted? Tell me about
Oh,
that.
nice. Thank you for asking. I love them. They are a company out of Vermont,
Okay.
and I just love them. What they do is that you give them $1 and they'll go plant a tree. And they have all these variety of places that you can plant trees. So you can pick, oh, I want to plant in Costa Rica, or I want to plant in Washington, or I want to plant in Oregon. I want to plant wherever, right? Scotland, England, wherever. So, I pick out what I think needs the most trees. And so like when you purchase one of my songs, or you purchase a t-shirt or a mug or whatever my merch is, right? If you purchase that, I can see that you're purchasing it. And then what I do is I go here, $1 in the pot. And at the end of the month, I go spend money with one tree planted, and we plant a bunch of trees. And right, I mean, I've done Washington, I've done California because we need it. I've done Scotland because it's my favorite place on the planet. And where else? Usually those 3 places because we need some trees. And yeah, so that's what I do. And I do that. And so it's my way of like saying, when you support me as an artist, then I get to support other things. See, it gets passed on.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's again showing your generosity of heart.
Exactly. And the neat thing about it is I get to do something for you. Mm-hmm. So I don't see anybody not liking trees, but maybe there are. But I'm thinking trees are the lungs of the planet. So I'm thinking, thank you for doing that, buying that t-shirt. Thank you for supporting me. You know what? Thank you back, because I'm going to give your $1, out of your 15 that you gave me, I'm going to take one of your $1 and I'm going to give it to One Tree Planet, and they're going to go plant a tree.
I love it. It's so great. And I think of like a tree as being, we plant a tree now and we may not be around to see its shade, but it will be for generations, right?
That's right.
There's an impact that goes way beyond, just as your music, just as other forms of art will touch people way past us, which is that's sort of a beautiful idea that we create sometimes for ourselves or for the people around us or our community. And then eventually it is we're affecting a lot of other people. So,
and I think it's really important too, as business people or as artists or creatives, I think it's really important to really support the things that support the many, not just the one. And don't do blanket, just my opinion, but I say don't do blanket things like the Cancer Society. It's like, well, how long have they been trying to fight cancer?
Right.
Where is that money really going? That's always my question.
Yeah.
I would rather support a company that's in action. That's why I say Music Unity Action, that's in action, doing something for the greater good of this planet and for ourselves and for our psyche. And I would rather see that move forward, because that's an actionable item, an experience that you can do, that you can be part of, that really changes, that makes a difference, not just some blanket,
some
company
organization.
Right. Yeah. I mean, just
even like if I think of a friend of mine here in town has a book out and it's featuring a dog. And so some of her sales go towards shelters and pet organizations. You're right. So it's very specific. She knows she's making impact in those ways.
Yes.
I know in our town too, the high school I used to work at raises money for cancer, but it goes to our Northern Ontario Cancer Treatment Center. So it's making impact on that particular location, right? So
that location, yes.
Yeah. And it has made a difference. So it's like finding the things that are so meaningful to you. I think that's brilliant. And
it's huge.
This One Tree Planted like seems so in line with how you view the world and what you feel and your generosity of spirit. And so I love that that will have a great impact too. So it just makes total sense. And what a great way to, support and to give back. And so good. I love it. Yeah.
Thank you.
So what are you working on next? What's the next? So this is the big project you're going to start, getting out there, and that'll be the focus for, I'm sure, it could be years.
Yeah.
Do you have
hopefully
anything else on the
planning
horizon that you're like, oh, I'll have to wait for that? Or is there something you're working on as well now?
Yeah.
I imagine this takes
Yeah.
up a lot of time.
It does, but it's okay. I mean, again, I use my tools to be
Right.
organized. So I have time to rest, some time to this and that, you know. So, yeah, what I'm in the process now is, I am writing a new album. It's called Cypress Moon, and it'll be out next year. Yeah, I think next year.
Amazing.
Anyway, and it's for Grammys this year.
Nice.
So, fingers crossed. And
Yes.
so we're in the process of that little big item.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and since the US, we're at 250 years right now from the Declaration of Independence for us.
Yes.
We are struggling, and we are making other people struggle. You're coming down with us, you know. It's like, God, I'm so sorry. I'm going to apologize
It's
now.
okay. We're all gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yes. So, and then I wrote a song in 2015 called "I Ride,"
Okay.
and I was going back and forth to Boston, where my music partner and he lived, and we were co-writing a lot of music back then. And I thought, oh, let me Concord, Lexington, the war. Oh, okay. Fire shot around the world, you know. I'm like, oh, okay. So I started kind of digging into it, and I was really inspired by what went down. And I wrote a song called I Ride, and actually lyrics mostly. It was just lyrics at the time. And it was inspired by the three writers, not just the one writer, which everyone thinks it's, you know, Paul Revere. He gets the thank you to Longfellow. But it's actually two other guys.
Okay.
Prescott and Doss, last names. Both of those guys, all three of them wrote at the same time, and they did different routes. Believe it or not, Paul Revere got caught by the British. Yeah, people don't know that. He got caught. And the one that actually made it through to tell, who was he? Was it Hamilton? Not Hamilton. Gosh, I can't remember. Anyway, he was alerting everybody in Lexington, and then of course up in Concord, and letting them know that the British are coming now. And so he made it through. He was a doctor, Prescott, last name. He's the one that made it through. He's the one that actually alarmed everyone.
Wow.
So anyway, I wrote a song about them, and it's called I Ride, and it'll be coming out probably in the next month or so. Keep your eyes peeled for that. And we're hoping to get this in the right hands and have it so it's proliferous. People can hear it, not just, you know, a small thing in the wind somewhere. It's a really good song. Yeah. So I was talking about I Ride, and then 250 years of, you know, Declaration of Independence, so coming up for the U.S., that type of thing. So, yeah, I just, you know, I was telling you, before we got rudely interrupted. No, I was telling you
My
that
computer shut down.
yes, how rude.
I know.
So, you know, I was saying I would practice it,
Yeah.
and I would cry. Like I couldn't get through the song. Like, and this went on for a month. Like I was like, this is really embarrassing. And you can't sing and cry. I'm not Bernadette Peters. So, I was like, oh my God. So finally I actually can get through the song without crying about it, and how emotional it really is. So I'm hoping that that's what will happen for others, that it will touch their heart and inspire them. Not just only US people, but it's really talking about, perseverance, you know, and how we get through things, and to just, you know, do what you're committed to, do what you're passionate about. That's what they did. They were passionate about, no, we're going to be free, you know, and it's all in, you know, live free or die. It really was that was really that moment for those, our forefathers, at least here in the US. So yeah, so it was a big deal at the time. Just, you know, it's like that horrible breakup, that horrible marriage that you're really trying to get rid of. And so, yeah, that's really what I wrote it about. And I'm hoping everyone will hear it and love it,
Yes.
feel moved, and be inspired in their own life to like
Yeah.
have their own perseverance.
Yeah. And what better time for it to come out now?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's so many reasons why that will be an important message for people to hear.
Yes, I think so
It
too.
has been so delightful to chat with you. Where can people find you? Go on.
Thank you. I feel the same thing, Lisa. You're lovely, lovely woman. Thank you. Fabulous interview. And it's real easy. Just go Glenda, Glenda, music.com, because GlendaBenevides.com, it all goes there. It all goes to the website. It's harder to spell my last name, so I don't try to mess with that. Benevides, let people say ASI, it's like, no. Just go Glenda Music, super easy. It'll take you there. Yeah.
I'll make sure it's in the show notes too, so that people can find you for your song in another month or so.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I have a YouTube channel also that they can see the music videos, hear the music, interviews. They'll see this interview, the whole 9 yards when it's ready. So that's great. And then if you can't find something, or you have questions, or you just want to be a part of something, please just reach out to me. I mean, there's a form on the page, because it talks a lot about Soul on Fire experience. Just reach out and say, hey, I just have a question. So
great. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much. I feel like
you're
very
welcome.
Inspired right now. I feel like I need to go create something.
Yes. My job is done today.
And more people will hear this and feel inspired as well. So thank you so much. It was such a delight to chat with you, and best of luck with Soul on Fire. I think it's going to be incredible.
Thanks, Lisa.
Take care. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. I believe writers need sisu, strength, courage, and determination to get their projects done, and I can help you access your sisu. Are you working on a novel or memoir? You don't have to do it alone. Join us in the Women Writing Circle. We meet bi-weekly for 90 minutes to get pages done. Or consider applying for an upcoming group book coaching program to develop the foundational elements of your story in a supportive community. These 8-week-long programs include weekly coaching calls, goal setting, craft discussion, and personalized feedback on writing tasks. If you'd prefer to work one-on-one, contact me about one of my coaching packages at lisakovala.bookcoach.com. Thanks for taking time out of your schedule to have a coffee break with us at Women Writing. Don't forget to subscribe to Women Writing on Substack. If you like this episode, share it with someone who needs a writing break and a little inspiration. Happy writing. Thank you to Michael Jensen for his original music and editing, and to Mia Jensen for the logo design.